It's after 8 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning is Chaves County Sheriff Mike Herrington. Morning, Sheriff. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great. We are traveling to Hobbs, New Mexico for a graduation of 7 of our deputies from the academy.
That's awesome.
That is really
yeah. This is got to be how much, like, just by comparison, Sheriff. Like, how many deputies are on the sheriff's department right now? Get rough gauge.
Right now we have 45 spots for deputies.
Okay.
And we are 3 positions down.
So you'd added 7. But that's got to be the closest you guys have been in a while to meeting that goal that you guys want, right?
Yes. So, that's been, like I said, it's been an amazing thing that we have. I have Sheriff Corey Helton who just came up here next to me, so from Lee County.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's got guys that are graduating here too. So we have been really blessed with applicants who are applying that are really top of the line. You know, we're getting a lot of uncertifieds who are applying, but that's a good thing because we get to train them how we want them, and
sure.
I think it's a blessing for us, and
absolutely,
we got them and they're getting ready to give us 30 years of their life.
Absolutely.
To Chaves County, so that's going to be amazing.
Who knows? Maybe one of these 7 individuals might be sheriff in 20 years down the road here. Who knows?
Absolutely, and that's the goal.
Yeah.
Train them all and get them all to where they want to be. That
awesome
in that position, because that's what has to happen. You know.
So for the seven individuals that will be walking across the stage here and getting their badge today.
Yes.
What happens? And because obviously they don't just give them a car and turn them loose. Do they kind of follow a deputy for a while, or will they have some more training, or what do they do? Yeah,
they're actually now that this part of it's over. Now the actual work begins. So they'll be riding with deputies for the next. You're looking at 3 months. They'll be through different phases, and they'll be learning how to apply what they learned at the academy to the street.
Gotcha.
And that's the most difficult part, really, is, you know, especially if you are a book learner or a hands-on learner, mm-hmm. Applying it to the other is very difficult for some, and
sure.
And also, it's a whole lot different when someone's hollering or screaming at you.
Sure.
So
real world scenario. Yeah.
Real world scenario. So it's going to make a good deputy out of these guys by teaching them that, hey, you have to be able to maintain self-control and don't take anything personal.
Yeah.
You know?
So I know you and I had talked about this, I think last time on the show, about the facility there in Hobbs and the training and how Roswell's trying to incorporate something like that, but just to give folks how great this Hobbs thing, like if just by example, if the Hobbs facility wasn't there and you were doing it the old-fashioned way where you had to send everybody up north, would these guys even be available to be at this stage right now, you think, or we'd still be dealing with trying to get them into the academy and all that kind of stuff?
We'd still be there'd still be a lot of difficulties getting them into the academy, especially this number of deputies that just attended this academy, because when you send them to Santa Fe, there's only a couple instructors compared to in Hobbs. You have a whole, because it's through the college.
Gotcha.
So you have a whole bunch of different instructors who are employed there all the time. So you're not having to worry about adjunct instructors coming from different agencies to come in and teach.
Yeah.
And especially at a time when law enforcement is shorthanded and you can't get the instructors there. So and the other thing that's good for us is that Hobbs is 100 miles from us, and the weather is usually really good, so we're not having to fight snowstorms or crazy weather or driving that 3 hours rather than an hour and a half. So
just wind, which we're used to, right?
Yep, just wind, and we're used to that. So yes, matter of fact, I'm sitting here watching this flag blow while I'm talking to you, and man, it's straight out. So
well,
it's pretty good.
I know we're supposed to get some weather this weekend. I'm sure Hobbs is probably in the same boat we are on that too. So it's probably the same front moving in there a little bit too. So
yes, it looks like it's been raining here.
So now that we got these 7 deputies, I mean, that's going to be a great. I'm sure every deputy currently serving in Chaves County right now is very thankful to have these 7 individuals to come be a part of the team, because now more hands make less work. That's just how it is. And so maybe some of our deputies here that probably been putting in some overtime and stuff might get a chance to get a little more time with their families.
Get a little family time. Yes,
Man,
yes, absolutely. And right now, I'll tell you, the deputies who are working on the street, they have been put to the test. I mean, they're working hard every day, putting in a lot of hours, and it is taxing, but they're doing it with a smile every day. You know, they truly enjoy the job, and right now it's also a little bit extra money, so that's not too bad either.
That's true. People do like getting paid. There's nothing wrong with that. But,
yeah, and as long as they know that it's not forever, that makes a difference as well.
Sure. Well, and this is, and like you said, when we talk about, maybe if there's anybody listening that's want to pursue a career in law enforcement, the law enforcement career is what you make of it, just like anything else. If you have an aspiration to be in law enforcement, but you're thinking, you know what, I want to get into the more investigative side, you can do that. You just gotta, put your time in and work, and then when you get to the department, you start doing the activities and things that will put you in a better training position to be maybe a detective someday, if that's where you are.
Absolutely.
It's all about once you get through the academy, the world's your oyster in law enforcement. It's where you want to, hey, I want to be into the canine stuff. All right, sheriff will get you through that area. If you want to be more with the working, the CSI type stuff, there's opportunities that there as well too. But every police officer is a police officer first. They're serving and protecting. That's job one.
Right.
But you can do so much more within the law enforcement community that's a little different than just kind of driving on the streets patrolling.
That's right. And one of the reasons that we like you to start out in that position first and work in the streets is because when you are dealing with cases and you're working these cases as a street deputy, you now know what to look for when you do become a detective or get into these other specialized positions like K9 or anything else. Being a street deputy first gives you all the basically the knowledge that you're going to need to do those other jobs.
Sure. It'll make you better at those. Yeah.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've most of our detectives that have been, especially with us right now, they've been doing this for every one of them well over 10 years. So, and like I said, the more senior guys, 15 years. So it's been a blessing to have that experience in there because we're solving cold cases and we're solving crimes that are happening.
Sure.
Because of that experience that they have. So it is really good. And technology is another thing, that for some of us older guys, this new stuff takes some time to learn, and these younger kids are coming in and they understand it a lot better. And so if they come out on the street side, man, they're doing up my computer information center with names and information that is really building us a good database.
That's great. It's great to see you're kind of incorporating the tried and true with the new just softwares and amenities that are available to law enforcement today. That's the thing people don't get is, you can have all the fancy tools in the world, but at the end of the day, if you don't have that brain that's there kind of, that's had the experience, that understands the seeing patterns and things like that, then that's where the true great law enforcement person comes in, because the experience combined with technology makes them a great at the job. It just is,
It really does. Yep. And that's just the way the law enforcement is going. And with us now, even with our body cameras and car cameras, you have to have a lot of experience with computers and a lot of experience. It's just not put it on and let it record.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know how to operate everything. And so it's an amazing tool, especially when we go to court, because it shows everything.
Sure.
So, but you gotta know how to operate it, and that's the crazy parts,
Sure. Let me ask this: will there be, now that we've got these 7 new individuals that'll be a part of the department here, and fresh out of the academy, obviously, your veteran deputies are going to come in and give them, their tutelage on some of the stuff as they're out in the streets now here, but does it work the other way too, where they're fresh out of the academy? Yeah, is there some new stuff they're teaching everybody that they pass along?
Yeah.
Is it full both way, that information, I guess?
Yeah, it does. And I'll tell you, the good thing about it is when you bring out somebody brand new or fresh
Mm-hmm.
to the streets, it also puts a fire under those who you've had for a while, because it brings back the joy of the job. You now remember why you took this job on.
That makes sense.
Why
Yeah.
you did it. So it brings back, it rejuvenates some of the older guys as well.
Sure.
So it does a good thing.
Well, it keeps them on their toes even more so. And what I mean by that is, especially when, like, for instance, when the deputies that are going to be kind of shadowing some of the new guys here for this couple months. I don't care what a police officer does when you're in the car and you're doing your thing and you've got a passenger. By default, he's probably the officer's not only thinking about themselves. Now they're looking. My experience on the ride along. I just remember sitting with the sheriff's deputy, and we're going down an alley, and he's going to talk to this one guy, and he tells me, he says, "Stay here, but watch the guy here, and here that I never saw." And
that's exactly right.
And I think when the deputy's kind of now looking out for him, and then the recruit, they're going to be. It puts them a little bit more on alert, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great thing, and I can tell you that right now we are probably one of the lowest paid sheriff's offices within the state.
Okay.
But we are getting great people to apply, and that just says a whole lot about your agency when people are willing to come to work. Not as much for the money,
mm-hmm.
but because it is a good department, and that's very important.
Absolutely. Well, that speaks volumes, because people, people want to make money. You're a fool if you think otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
people will. Money's not always the driving factor. To have a good, happy working environment sometimes is much greater than the money. For many people.
Absolutely.
And so, someone's saying, you know what, I'm going to make $1,000 more over this county, but you know what, I'm going to have a better experience at this county. I think that's worth the extra, not the less than the $1,000 that I'm going to be paid over at this one or whatever it is,
That's exactly right.
But that's what cements good departments, and good because people are there because they want to be there. They're not there because they need a paycheck. I mean, we all need paychecks, but let's face it, you can find a paycheck anywhere if you look,
That is correct. And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
You got to really love this job to come in and do it for this pay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first off, I'm sure you probably got to get you got a ceremony to get going here and all that. But we're so happy to hear we've got 7 new individuals that are going to be here helping protect the streets of Chaves County. So that you're down. So that puts you about 4 or 5 away from your goal. I think you were telling me at the beginning there.
We will have 3 openings once we're done with this.
Okay. All right. So hopefully we can get them to the
good.
Excellent. So if you're looking or interested in careers in law enforcement with the county or any county careers, go to the county website. You'll see the chaviscounty.gov website. You'll find the career opportunities there. Better yet, if you want to learn more, probably not today, sheriff's a little busy, but call the department and say, hey, I heard the sheriff on the radio, and I'm you know what? I think
right.
I'd like to know more about pursuing a career in law enforcement and through the sheriff's department, and they'll put you on the path to what you need to do. So.
Yep, we will, and we appreciate them taking the time and the interest in our department, and we're going to get things rocking and rolling. Now with everything kind of lifting, we're going to be able to do more testing. So it's going to be good.
Just do want to remind folks, we do have a 3-day weekend coming up here with Memorial Day. The sheriff's deputies, the Roswell police, our state police, all our law enforcement, they're going to be on the lookout, making sure everybody's not drinking and driving and things like that. So please.
Absolutely right.
Don't drink and drive. You're going to get caught. And the worst part is you could hurt somebody. We say get caught. Yeah. That's not actually the worst thing to have. Getting caught's a good thing. If you get caught, that's what we want. What we want is you not to do it. But the worst thing is you can end your life or someone else's. And
that's exactly right.
And unfortunately, every person that did this thing went out with no intention. They just, I'm just going to go up the street. I'll be right back. I mean, you're probably tired of seeing that NMDOT commercial where they're all doing their little watch party, drinking and all that, and the one girl goes out and gets busted. I mean, you've probably seen that thing so you're sick to death, but it ain't wrong. It happens all the time. People make a decision that they think it's going to be one thing, and it turns out to be a huge wrong decision. And so it's too easy to avoid that. So this weekend, keep it home. So.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, sounds like your phone's blowing up. Thank you, Sheriff. Take care.
You.
We'll see you here in a couple weeks. All right.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. That was Sheriff Mike Herrington. Big thank you to him for reaching out. He was heading to Hobbs for the graduation. And, well, you heard there's a lot going on there. So big thanks to Sheriff for spending a few minutes there with us. All right. It is 8:40.